Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Nick. Thanks for watching. Also, I'd like to mention that make sure to follow us at the Disability channel. Please subscribe and make sure to join our Flip Give as well. There's a lot of partners, Tim Hortons, Loblaws. Make sure to keep up with us. And here we have Helen and Michael from Arche, Canada, and we're about to start the interview. So, Michael, what is your success story with Arche? How long have you been doing it, and how did that become about?
Wow, my success story with Arche. That's a nice, it implies a compliment. So thanks, man. Yeah, I joined, well, I first heard about Arche, I think when I was, pretty young. My dad told me about it. I came from a small town called South Bend, Indiana, in the United States. And they had wanted to create a Arche community there. And they didn't manage to. But I joined Arche after I finished university, so 2009, and I joined Arche in a community in France, and I just had a ball, had a great time, met a lot of good people, a lot of creative people, and wanted to just, keep meeting really, really cool creative people. So then I moved to Arche in Kenya and lived there for a number of years. And after that, I began to make films for Arche International, where I got to travel to a different community almost every month around the world, which was just, one of the great gifts that I've been given in my life. I got to go to most every continent and meet people with Arche and make films. And now I'm here in Canada and still doing creative stuff with Arche.
Yeah.
Have the pleasure of working with you and with Ellen. And it's been a good journey. So it's been 11, what is it now?
And you also done a video called As I Am. Do you mind talking about that?
For sure. Yeah. So one of the things that we see a lot in the media is, stories about disability, but people with disabilities aren't actually telling their own stories. There are people who don't have disabilities who are talking about disabilities. And, in Arche, our belief is that you're the expert of your own experience. So with As I Am, what we sought to do was to kind of create a cinematic experience where my partner and I would get dropped off in a Arche community, and we'd have 1 month to get to know people. And we would just listen to stories, and we'd be eating dinner together, and we'd be sweeping floors together and washing dishes together and listening. And then a story would emerge, and we would just say, okay, this is a story we want to tell. It was different every time. In Northern Ireland, it was about a man with autism who wanted to find if there was a baby photo of himself that existed anywhere in the world, because he's never seen a baby photo of himself. In Kenya, the story was about a guy who went to France for the first time and his experience in Paris, his critiques of Paris. So it was just in Australia, it was about a woman who lost her mother and learning to live on her own. Just all sorts of different things. And so we made 12. It was a series of 12 short films, and each episode was in a different country, and I had a ball doing it, and we got a lot of great feedback, lots of viewers. It was a wonderful experience.
Oh, good. And Helen, what is your success story in Arche? How long have you been doing it, and how did that become about for you?
Yeah, well, my success story with Arche is much shorter than Michael's. But I think I actually was introduced to Arche mostly through Michael. And it was in knowing him and his partner, who we all went to college with, that I learned about all the communities and attended some events here in Washington, D.C., where I live, with the local, with our L'Arche community who's here. And, you know, in my day job, I'm a video producer for a news organization. And so, you know, I make videos a lot, but of a different kind. But I've always really admired the work that Michael did on As I Am. You know, good story. I really do believe that good stories happen to those who tell them, and giving people who traditionally have not had that opportunity or have had those stories told for them by others is something I really believe in. So I've been a big fan of the kinds of stories that Michael has been helping to give light to in L'Arche, and sort of facilitating that. And so working with L'Arche Canada has been something that I came on really to help with making Battle of the Fans. And that's how I met you, and I met so many other people who are working in L'Arche Canada, and it's been great. You know, it's been a great like three months, and hopefully there'll be more. But mostly, I'm a friend of L'Arche, first and foremost.
And Helen, did you have to take any kind of education courses, like having a disability training course, education study background? And did you learn about disabilities in school, college, or university?
No. I mean, I have learned about the rules that we have here in the U.S. To help protect people with disabilities, but I don't necessarily think that we do a good job of talking about it in beyond protecting people in a legal sense. You know, I've known people who've had disabilities, whether they were physical or intellectual, in my life, and they're friends of mine. They're people, they're humans, but we don't necessarily, I think, in the US do a lot in terms of having deeper discussions about that in terms of ethics or I guess empathy, and building community, which is what L'Arche is all about. But outside of the people that I've met through L'Arche, that hasn't been something that I've felt like I've had lots of opportunities. So I think that the positive side of that is that I've gotten to learn a lot about that through L'Arche, which is such a great example.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing, Helen. And Michael, same question. Do you have to take any kind of education courses, like having a disability training course, education study background? And did you learn about disabilities in school, college, or university?
Yeah. Well, I guess, you know, I started volunteering for Special Olympics when I was kind of younger, like when I was in grade school. So I guess I had a lot of friends from when I was younger who had disabilities. And then in college, I had a course that was amazing, and it was called Literature of Disability. And we went into like disability studies and theory, but half the course we read literature which was written by able-bodied people from the perspective of someone with disability. And the other half of the course we read literature which was written from the perspective of someone with a disability, and it was about a person with a disability. And we kind of compared the two, and we learned a lot about feminism and queer theory, and you know, all these really, to me, new ideas, disability theory, the social model, and it was quite exciting. So in a way, if it weren't for that course, I probably wouldn't have joined L'Arche. But I think it was that teacher teaching that course and reading all that great literature and those great memoirs that kind of gave me that extra push to join L'Arche. So ever since then, I've been a total junkie when it comes to disability literature and disability studies. And yeah, I had the chance to meet one of my heroes in the disability studies world, Rosemary Garland Thompson. And I can just tell you, like, I was so nervous, like probably the way people would feel when they meet like a famous like basketball player or hockey player or something. I was like shaking because I was like, I can't believe I'm meeting this disability scholar. Kind of nerdy, but that's me.
And and just so you guys know that there's a website out there now called Distory, www.distory.com. If you want to find more information, check out the website.
I like that sort of play on
Yes,
words.
and I'm part of the working members with Distory. It's a research project called Then and Now Research Project with institutionalized survivors. So make sure you check out the website. And for all the viewers too, check out the website.